Welcome to the live recording of Girl, Come Sit With Me. You all, today we have a special guest. We have Lou, aka Lou Tactical, in the building. You have probably seen her from some of her viral videos on reminding women to be as empowered and as fully and organically themselves as possible. Or maybe you've seen her with the pum pum. Okay, because not only is she well trained, but she will train you as well. Okay, you can meet at the gun range, and I'm being for real. Like, you can literally meet her at the gun range. Like, so we have Lou. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Gratitude.
Hey girl, come sit with me. Let's talk about love and identity. We've been breaking chains, healing from pain, laughing through storms and dancing in rain. Hey girl, come sit with me.
Yes, I'm so excited. So you are a trauma specialist, which, girl,
Trauma informed.
trauma informed. But either way, that is incredible. And it's necessary because sometimes we walk around with trauma and don't even realize that we're walking around with certain hurts.
Right.
And other people may be able to see that hurt in us because from the outside looking in, they're like, okay, I see why you're doing this. I see why you are overly doing something, like you have something to prove, or you're feeling automatically like someone has hurt your feelings. And it's simply because they can see the unhealed version of us more than we can.
Absolutely.
Because it's easy for us to clock someone else's teeth. But it's a difference when we have to be accountable and clock our own teeth.
Absolutely.
So I love that you are trauma informed. It's very necessary. So necessary. So then my first question to you is, when it comes to stress, when it comes to being misaligned spiritually, mentally, whether it is via our past or something that happened today, it can be something that just happened. How are you able to step into that, help someone, but also not take it home?
Well, I stay grounded, right? Being grounded that's necessary for me. It's automatic for me. I need to do it, right? So making sure that I am protecting myself and grounding myself and just really centering myself before I even deal with anyone, right? And when it comes to, helping them unpack, right, it's not really something that I will take home because all I'm doing is giving them space, right, to be able to unpack their own traumas, their own stress, right, and knowing that I'm not going to attach. So I'm not big on attachments. I've learned my lesson, right, with attachments. So when you're mindful of that, then it's almost you will not take it home. Of course, we're human, so we're going to empathize, right, because I feel, right, so I'm able to empathize with someone, but if we're together, what we're not going to do is we're not going to rummage in trauma. We need to unpack it so we can, acknowledge it and put it to the side.
I love that because trauma bonding is a real thing.
It is.
And it's so easy for someone to say, oh man, my day was messed up. Car messed up, this happened. And for someone else to, what, your day was messed up? Mine too. Hey, this happened. It's not a competition.
It's not.
We don't need trauma competition. Because if that's the case, you can have it. You can have it. Because I'm allergic to that too. Okay? You can definitely have it with that. So I appreciate how you're able to not attach, but still able to lend a helping hand or a listening ear. But are there times where, since you're so great at being a listener and being someone that people can confide in, do you feel as though you have that?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's always going to be a balance like that. So
Okay.
I just, with me, probably not. So I'm that for myself. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't look for anyone to really be that, but I do have that. You know what I mean? Which is a blessing. Right. So, and even if it's someone, sometimes like therapy is good.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't have that because you really don't trust people with your pain or with your stress or with your trauma. And this can be a close friend. It's something just not, so therapy is good. And that teaches you to show up for yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's at the end of the day going in.
Hey, that part.
I had to say it. But you have to be able to show up for yourself.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal.
And I like that because it goes back. Your answer was right on brand with who you are. because it goes right back to being grounded
Yes.
and being able to understand ourselves in totality, which includes looking inwards more so than just, oh, this happened. Okay, what are all the reasons that this happened to me that has nothing to do with me?
Right.
Right? But sometimes if there's a pattern or if we notice, I this one boundary of mine keep getting crossed, then sometimes it's not the other people, sometimes it's us. Sometimes it can be something as simple as, do you believe in this? So I believe in boundaries. I love boundaries. But I also believe in having consequences the thing of cause and effect when it comes to boundaries. So you cross my boundary, I will let you know, hey, you already know this is a boundary. I didn't appreciate this. I just wanted to let you know. Right away. And then if it continues, I definitely believe in conditioning somebody.
Right.
Like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to get off of some space or back away. Or maybe I'm just going to say, you know what? You're going to wonder why I don't come to you for certain things or include you in certain things because you crossed that boundary and here go your punishment.
Right. When we say we're grounded, it's important for us to understand what does that mean too.
Yes.
Because we throw that word around and a lot of times it's like, it's like one of those catchphrases, like I'm grounded. But what does that really mean? Right. So being able to be accountable for yourself and being able to self-reflect. So what I'm noticing a lot of times, even with boundaries, we can say, okay, I'm going to establish a boundary. I have these boundaries. But a lot of people, believe it or not, don't realize how boundaries trigger them. When someone establishes a boundary, right, and it doesn't sit right with them that someone either, cut off access or limited access or told them no, or said, I'm not going to do something, how it hits you, right? And it can be uncomfortable. And a lot of times people won't recognize that in themselves, but they'll recognize it in someone
other people.
You know what I mean? So being grounded also is being able to self-reflect and hold yourself accountable, because sometimes we can project onto people.
That's a real thing.
And it is a real thing. And in order to really show up grounded and show up in our authentic selves, we have to be able to self-reflect and hold ourselves accountable. And that's setting a boundary within ourselves. Yeah. Once we show up and we are honoring ourselves with the utmost respect, that's all we're going to demand from others. Right. And we're going to know that, no, I respect your boundaries. I'm not entitled to your space. You know what I mean? Yes. And the same for me, that reciprocity, right? And that's where that alignment comes in. So I think it's important for us when we are throwing out these words that we really understand what these words are, what they mean. You know what I mean? Because now we see the days of social media, it's like catchphrases everywhere.
Yes,
and it's like a fad to say, I'm grounded, but really deeply, what does that mean? Right? How are you connected?
How are you fully connected?
Yeah.
And how aware of your surroundings are you?
Yes. And not only just aware, but being conscious of your awareness.
Yes.
Because we could be aware all day, right? We could be aware that we're in coast space right now, right? We're in coast space right now.
Yes.
But are we conscious of our awareness? Like, are we really processing what's happening right now?
Yes. And being present.
Yes.
Exactly. Being present in the moment. And honing in.
Child, listen.
Hey, listen, okay?
Don't play with it.
It's not just the ladies tonight. Let me be on my best behavior. Hey, I'm not allergic to that. Whoopsies. Don't need no allergy pills for that one. Yeah. Right. Only on Girl Come Sit With Me, okay? But yes, when we're honing in on that, where we can get to this place of really being present, really understanding where we are. Beyonce has this song, y'all, and it is the soundtrack of my life. I can't think of the name of it, but the words are, it's two of them, but the main one is, you're part of something way bigger. You're part of something way bigger. Bigger than you, bigger than me. Because how many times do we have people come to us and say, hey, you know what? I started doing that because of you.
Yeah.
Or I get this a lot where someone's like, you made me walk with my back a little more straight. Or you made me want to hold my head high. Yes. Being around you made me feel pretty.
Yes.
Things like that is a big deal to me because I may not know the impact I have on others. You may not know the impact you have on others, right? We can get to these places where our name is going to be in rooms that we're not even in.
Absolutely.
Our energy is going to linger in the room even after we walk away, right? A lot of us have that, but sometimes we don't even realize it because we're just clocking it, like just on point, on the go, moving all the time. And you understand that because you're an entrepreneur as well.
Yep.
So how do you find a space to, you mentioned the importance of being grounded, but how do you find the time? You are an entrepreneur as well.
And being on autopilot is a real thing.
Yes.
Right? And you can be on autopilot and be still. Like you said, your mind won't cut off. It's just you're overstimulated, and we can get overstimulated by so much that's going on right now. Right? The world feel like it's moving at a rapid rate. Right? So important for us to just calm down and be able to just center ourselves and take a step back, right? And observe. And I just did a video on this about observing our environments, observing ourselves, right? And I wanted to circle back on what you said about the Beyonce saying we're bigger than this, and talking about how you don't know who you can have an impact on. But really understanding that it's not always a positive impact that you learn from. We learn from our negative impacts too. Our trauma is our catalyst to our, to our growth, to our ascension, to our evolving. Right. So a lot of times we'll look at trauma as something that'll hold us down, and that can throw us onto autopilot too. Like we're running from something.
The running away.
The running away from it and just trying to do instead of, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? How did we get here? You know what I mean? And if we don't know how we got here, then we're going to keep going nowhere.
Yeah.
And that's what the autopilot is. That's that stress. That's your nervous system being out of balance, right? And it's just constant. And it's fight, flight, or freeze. You can be in flight.
You can be in flight the whole time and not even realize
the whole time. And then when you crash, you can be in freeze to where you're stuck, like you said, hit that plateau, and you're stuck and you're not understanding what's happening because that trauma starts catching up to you.
Yeah.
And you got to face it.
And then what ends up happening is once that trauma catches up to us, how many of us have seen it? Or you probably heard the story of the young lady, I think she was a chef or something like that. And she said, hey, y'all, she posted on Facebook, hey, y'all, I'm tired. Like, I just need a couple of days. I just need a couple of days. She went to sleep and did not wake up. Because sometimes what happens is, and we probably experienced this, where we're on the go and all of a sudden we're like, I got a cold. I got a flu. I never get sick, right? But sometimes your body's like, sit down or I'm going to put you down, sugar. I'm going to make you get your rest that we need so we can heal.
Or how about even just extreme pain, and then you show us in spaces for other people, and you have this smile on, and everybody knows you as this big bubbly person, but you are dying inside.
Yes.
And no one
was a real thing. Yeah.
And it's like when it comes to, like you said, like just trauma and being trauma informed, what I learned is how we treat people. We could be having a bad day, or maybe someone is showing up in a certain type of way, and you may react to them instead of respond, not realizing that they could be going
through something.
I don't know if I could curse because
You can curse. It's fine. You can curse. It's fine. Oh, nah, don't be hostile.
Yeah. Like, they could be going through some shit. And it's like, damn. And if something happens, and you like, damn.
How did that happen? You want to know something that I'm actively in a constant, basically training myself to get used to? I am a big personality. I am bubbly. I love to smile. And y'all, my sisters will point out to me all the time, like, bitch, you're not okay.
Right, because ain't shit funny.
You're not okay. And for whatever reason, I don't know if that was the people pleaser side of me or what side of me, but a part of me is like, hey, if I'm feeling this down, like I've gone through some things these last couple of years, lost monumental people, things like that, and lost everything technically. But when I tell you, I would go into spaces and be like, I don't want to bring you down. Like, I also know my sister got stuff going on. She cool, she busy, whatever. I'm not finna bring my sister down.
Right.
But then guess what? I'm robbing people of the opportunity to be there for me.
Right.
I'm robbing people of the opportunity to show up for me.
Right.
And how can I know who's really there for me if if I don't just show up authentically, like, hey, y'all, I know my autopilot is the smile, but y'all, I'm smiling and I'm crying on the inside. Just know your girl's struggling.
Strong black woman. Yes. Right?
Yes. Like, we can't show up.
I want to be soft until it's time for me to be strong, because
that part,
and Yeah, balance.
It's all about the balance.
It's not good for us to always be in that. We are divine feminine at that. It's not normal for us to be in constant like masculine energy. That's that protective energy where we feel like we have to always protect ourselves. And when we're stuck in that masculine energy, that's how we get a lot of health ailments, right?
Yeah.
Or when it comes to like dysregulated nervous systems, right? Autoimmune issues, right? Hormonal imbalance. All of that has to do with you harboring in this energy that's really you're supposed to balance it out. We're not supposed to be stuck there.
I agree with that. And I'm going to ask you this question. I want you to speak on this as well. One of the things that I notice, or at least with myself, I won't put it on anybody else, I'll speak for myself. At least with me, something I notice is I'll be all right. Because, you know, as Black women, whether we're depressed or not, we naturally, it's high functioning. That's what it looks like in us.
Yes.
We will be like, you know, I'm going to just get another degree. You hurt my feelings, big dog. I'm going to get another degree, right? So
I'm going to get another one.
Another one. Okay?
Meaning another one.
Literally. And we just keep having these experiences where, or at least for me, I keep having these experiences where I find joy in singing. I don't sing in public. But I find joy in singing. And lately, every time I sing, I cry. I mean, I just cry every single time. I'm like, okay, apparently this is my way of my body finally releasing it because I'm always so on the go. As a mom with 2 young little jits, like, I keep up with them. I'm on the go. And I really had to take a step back. How you said earlier with the grounding, I really had to be more self-aware and allow myself to understand that I can be hurt some days too. And that's okay. I'm still bubbly Dom. It doesn't take away from my worth, and it doesn't ruin the mood of an entire room.
Yes.
With me just being that way.
It's a natural process. And that singing, and when you tap in and you cry, that's a somatic release, right? That's you tapping in. Our ancestors used to do it. That's why they used to sing. You know, they used to sing. Right, to really get the energy flowing and moving. Like it's a real thing.
It really is. And I love a good slave hymn, y'all. Okay? I love a good slave hymn. If it don't make, you know, that bass rattle inside, okay?
It is. And it's okay to be not the Negro spirit. Okay, Gil? Yes, right. So it's okay to be, it's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
You know, it is okay to be not be okay, but we have to acknowledge it. I'm not okay.
That I'm not okay.
Right?
I don't.
And once you acknowledge it, then you can approach it, unpack it, and then you move it to the side because it can't linger for too long.
It can't.
You know, we just
So, question, how do we know when it's time for us to contact you? How will someone in this room know it's time to contact you?
So, before anything else, because I know we're talking trauma, but I'm a self-defense coach, right? So self-defense in all caps because I approach physical, mental, spiritual, right? So I'm not a therapist, I'm a spiritualist. So I really dig into metaphysics and things like that. So to contact me, I deal with like warrior spirits. And warrior spirits is you've been through some things and you need to get through it, right? And channel it and move forward and be your best self, right? Be your authentic self, be your higher power self, connect to your higher self, right? And I do a lot of that with my firearms instruction. You know, like me, when I get out on the range and I'm letting shots down range, like it's a metaphor. Me protecting myself with my firearms is bigger than me protecting myself physically, right? It's me knowing that I'm safe all the way around. I'm tapped in physically, I'm tapped in mentally, I'm tapped in spiritually, and that's pretty much what it is. So people who resonate with that, right? I'm big on quality. Quantity don't do nothing for me. Right, I tell people all the time on my page, don't follow me if you don't resonate with me. Don't follow me if you're trying to battle me. If you don't follow me, I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care about none of it.
Good vibes.
You know, it's quality over quantity. So when it's alignment too. So how people know they need to reach out to me, they're just going to know. Right? You're just going to know, like when you meet somebody and you connect with them, you just know, like, you know what? Them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. I feel in alignment with you.
That's how we connected for this podcast, literally.
In alignment with you, right? And we don't always like everybody, and that's okay. you know, it's okay, but it's alignment is so important to me. So then that way I'm not feeling attached. You're not feeling attached. Like you have to do something because it's popular or because, you know, because I'm just not, I'm really authenticity for me.
Yeah. And I appreciated that. Even with one of the things about what you had just mentioned, that was a testament. I won't share everything, but that was a testament, was that she and I had a really great conversation just to make sure that we were communicating, and she understood where my intentions were from, and I understood where her intentions are from. And that was just, it was an incredible moment, if you ask me.
I know.
Simply because it doesn't always happen, or sometimes you have that type of conversation and people will be like, oh, well, I don't know.
I get it.
Like,
I get it.
It doesn't, sometimes it makes, how do I word this? The easiest way to put it is, it's nice when you can have a real conversation with somebody and be like, hey, this is what I meant, this is what I said, but this is what I meant, and vice versa,
Yes.
without one another feeling attacked,
Right.
without making it where I can listen to you and hear where you're coming from and understand where you're coming from. Okay, I get where you at with it. Okay, so this is where I was at with it, and this is also where I'm at with it currently. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And where can they find you, Lou?
Lou Tactical. It's pretty simple. I'm Lou Tactical on Instagram, Lou_Tactical on Instagram. And that in my bio gets you to everywhere else. Oh, I'm sorry, you right?
Yes.
LU_Tactical. I deal a lot with guns. Instagram was tripping on me a little bit with the guns, but now they start tripping on me even more with how I speak. So I'm gonna bring the guns. I might as well bring the guns back out.
You may as well.
I might as well bring the guns.
You
back
may
out.
as well. Bring the guns out. Oh,
And
what's on Friday?
Friday? I took a little break, but I do Conceal Carry Friday, and I show women how to conceal with however you dress. I'm honestly really modest today. I'm usually showing skin. I like being real sexy and sensual, so I do show how to carry, like in the most, even in something, anything you have on, I find a way to carry my firearm.
Yes, it really is, y'all.
Like what you have on, I would pull out of that, right? So,
and you would never even know, y'all. You would never even know.
yes,
So
I'm big on conceal carry.
y'all make sure y'all follow Lou_Tactical, and thank you so very much. This was incredible. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I pray that you all have a phenomenal day, phenomenal week, phenomenal month, and bump it. We already at the end of the year, so let's carry on with it. Later.